Today, we got a heavy one out of Milwaukee. A Monday afternoon, August 17th, 2026, the streets claimed 2 more lives in a double homicide right near 31st and Cameron. We're talking about 21-year-old Dquasian Evans, a young cat known in the city as Lil Shiesty, and his mentor, 33-year-old Quentine Williams, known to the streets as Funny Money. These 2 brothers were gunned down right outside a local warehouse recording studio, a place that was supposed to be their ticket out the hood, not a dead end. A 28-year-old suspect is currently in custody, and charges have been kicked over to the district attorney's office, but the pain left behind is permanent. It's another senseless tragedy, another family broken, and another harsh reminder of the realities we face when the culture glorifies destruction over discipline and hard work. To really grasp the weight of this tragedy, you gotta understand who these brothers were and the environment that shaped them. Let's start with Funny Money, real name Quentine Williams. At 33 years old, Funny Money was an OG in the Milwaukee rap scene. He wasn't just out here chasing clout, he was a grown man handling his business. His upcoming story was supposed to be one of triumph. He had his own recording studio set up behind the warehouses on 31st Street. Funny Money was on his grind, trying to build something legitimate, something real. He understood that the music game was a business, and he was transitioning from just being an artist to being a boss and an executive. More importantly, he was acting as a mentor. He was actively bringing young, hungry cats under his wing to keep them out of the streets and in the booth. Funny Money was supposed to be the blueprint for how you hustle your way out the trap, invest in yourself, and pull your people up with you instead of tearing them down. Then you got Lil Shiesty, born Dquasian Evans, just 21 years old, a whole father to 3 babies at 21. Shiesty was one of those young bucks with a lot of raw talent and a whole lot of heavy responsibilities on his young shoulders.
We need to change our focus. We need to change our mindsets if we want to live. Family.
Lil Shiesty was related to Jigga, another Milwaukee rapper who was shot and killed in a double homicide back in 2023.
In our family, the last couple of years, this has been a repeated cycle. Our younger generation is passing on.
They are praying that cycle ends, and vigils like this don't have to continue.
Long live Shiesty! Love you, baby!
His twin sister, Dquasian, talked about how he was incredibly family-oriented, a young man who loved music and loved his babies dearly. But Lil Shiesty was also born into a reality that is all too familiar in our communities. His family has been plagued by a vicious, unrelenting cycle of gun violence. This wasn't their first rodeo with the coroner. For the last couple of years, his family has been burying the younger generation one by one. It's beyond sad. It's a generational curse. It breaks my heart to see a family that is so used to the trauma of gun violence that they can barely heal from one funeral before they have to buy suits for the next. It's a dark cloud hanging over the bloodline, and Lil Shiesty was desperately trying to use the mic to break that curse. Let's keep it a buck and break down exactly what went down and what it means for us as a people. It's Monday afternoon, broad daylight. Lil Shiesty is linking up with Funny Money at the studio. This is supposed to be a sacred space for artists. It's where you pour your pain onto the track, where you manufacture a way out of poverty through pure hustle. But the streets came knocking at 3:40 p.m. Gunfire erupted in that warehouse lot. By the time Milwaukee PD rolled up to the scene, both Lil Shiesty and Funny Money were found dead from gunshot wounds. 2 generations of black men, a young father trying to find his way and a seasoned mentor trying to provide the way, wiped out in the blink of an eye. Police ended up locking up a 28-year-old man. But let's be real, putting the shooter behind bars doesn't bring Shiesty or Funny Money back. It doesn't put a father back in the home for those 3 little kids who now have to grow up wondering why their daddy didn't come home from work. The next day, near 24th and Fond du Lac, the community came together for a vigil. You see the sheer heartbreak out there. You got Shiesty's twin sister wearing his jackets just so she can feel close to him. You got family members crying out to God, asking for comfort. But the realest thing said that night came from his cousin, Tronika Walker. She looked right at the news cameras and said, "We need to change our focus. We need to change our mindset if we want to live."
We need to change our focus. We need to change our mindsets if we want to live.
And fam, she hit the nail directly on the head. We can point fingers at the system, at the police, or at politicians all day long. But at some point, we got to look in the mirror. We have to call a spade a spade. We are dealing with a cultural crisis. We're dealing with the breakdown of the nuclear family, a lack of strong fathers leading the home, and a hip-hop culture that too often glorifies the very behavior that is putting our young men in the dirt. We have young men settling petty beefs and bruised egos with hollow tips instead of conflict resolution and a handshake. We have to take personal responsibility for our own communities. Nobody is coming to save us but us. We can't just rely on government programs to fix our neighborhoods. We have to police ourselves, raise our children with strict discipline, faith, and morals, and utterly reject this destructive street culture. Funny Money was trying to do it the right way. He was building a business, mentoring the youth, doing the hard work. But the venom of the streets doesn't care about your positive trajectory if the people around you are operating on a low frequency. There's an old saying the elders used to tell us, the streets don't love you back. You can give the streets your time, your talent, your energy, and your loyalty, but the streets will only pay you back in 2 currencies, a concrete cell or a cemetery. It's an investment with a 100% failure rate. Lil Shiesty and Funny Money didn't deserve this. Those 3 kids deserve their father. But until we start valuing our own lives, until we start demanding accountability in our own homes and rejecting the foolishness that leads to these tragedies, this cycle will just keep spinning. It's time to wake up, hold our community to a higher standard, and stop making excuses for the violence tearing us apart from the inside out. That's my piece on it for today, fam. I appreciate y'all tapping in and keeping it real with me. If you rocked with this message and want more of the unfiltered truth, do me a favor. Hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to my Today's Red Stories page. We gonna keep bringing you the real talk, the hard truths, and the stories that matter. Stay blessed, stay focused, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Family identified one of the victims as a Milwaukee rapper. The scene unfolded this afternoon inside a building near 31st and Cameron. 12 News' Jasmine Franklin is live on the big story here at 10. Jasmine, it was certainly at a very emotional scene there tonight.
Exactly, Blake. People at the scene were screaming and crying for several hours this afternoon. Family members identifying the victim killed as a Milwaukee rapper who goes by the name Funny Money. His family tells me he was on his way to the studio to record new music when his life was cut short. An emotional and chaotic scene near 31st and Cameron Monday.
My little brother, I just called and talked to him yesterday, bro.
2 people found shot and killed inside a building. One victim identified by loved ones as a Milwaukee rapper who goes by Funny Money. His sister shared this photo with 12 News. Crime scene tape spanned several blocks on Monday for more than 4 hours. The rapper's family did not want to share his real name with 12 News, but say he was heading to record music at a studio nearby.
My brother was a funny person. He a rapper. The situation that happened, I don't even know what happened.
The last thing I said to my uncle was, I love him, be safe. And he said, I'm always safe from there. That was about it.
News Chopper 12 exclusively capturing the scene from above.
You can see detectives standing in front of it. There is a couple of evidence technician vans here as well. We saw a group of them walk down to Lincoln Creek. They were looking down over the edge. There's still a couple of officers there, and then they came with a plastic bag and a brown bag, and they carried that back to one of the vehicles here.
Detectives not revealing a motive or what may have led up to the shooting, but they did arrest a 28-year-old. News Chopper 12 there as police took photographs of a man in handcuffs.
And Jasmine back with us now. Do we know anything about the second victim killed?
So police say there were two victims, a 33-year-old and the other victim has not been identified. Now family members of Funny Money say he may have been heading to the studio with a music producer at the time of the shooting all unfolding.
All right, Jasmine Franklin reporting live for us here on The Big Story at 10. Thank you.
Two Milwaukee rappers killed in a shooting, and tonight loved ones are coming together to remember one of those men. He died in that shooting near 31st and Cameron. Fox 6's Ashley Sears just spoke with his family just back here in studio and shares the message they want everyone to hear tonight, Ash.
Yeah, hi, Ben. They say 21-year-old Dquasian Evans was a father and up-and-coming rapper. They are heartbroken by his loss, and they say this isn't the first time they've dealt with tragedy.
We ask that you comfort us, oh God.
Near 24th and Fond du Lac, loved ones come together in grief.
Father God, wrap your arms around us.
They remember a life taken suddenly Monday afternoon.
I've been wearing his jackets to feel like he's close to me.
Police were called to 31st and Cameron around 3:40. They found 21-year-old Dquasian Evans and 33-year-old Quentine Williams dead from gunshot wounds. A 28-year-old was arrested.
I've been listening to his songs ever since. I got to hear his voice.
Jigga Evans is Dquasian's twin. She says her brother was dedicated to family and had a love for music.
He was a rapper and he was very family oriented. He got 3 kids that he loved dearly.
Loved ones say the 21-year-old was an up-and-coming rapper, better known as Lil Shiesty, who was at the recording studio with his mentor and friend, Funny Money, when they were killed.
We need to change our focus. We need to change our mindsets if we want to live.
Family says this isn't their first time grieving a loved one lost to gun violence.
In our family, the last couple of years, this has been a repeated cycle. Our younger generation is passing on.
They are praying that cycle ends and vigils like this don't have to continue.
Long live Shiesty! Love you, baby!
Again, police arrested a 28-year-old man. Family says they do not know the circumstances of the shooting or the suspect. Charges have been referred to the district attorney's office. Ben and Mary.